Hello and welcome to another Carstar video. Today I'll be showing you how to generally remove a door mirror and specifically demonstrating on a Citroen C4 B7. Unless your vehicle is old, there is two components or main components to a door mirror. One is the nuts or bolts that keep the door mirror in place attached to the door, and secondly this cable and plug. This is what you use to adjust your mirror when you're driving. So you will need to find out where this plug and cable goes. Does it go behind the door trim, which is this inner big piece that covers the door on the inside? Now going forward, as I showed you before, the cable and wire goes down into the door trim. So to remove the door mirror, we'll need to remove the door trim from this vehicle. I would look all around the door trim for covers first, see where all the screws are, and then I'll move on to removing the screws. On this vehicle there was only 3, and the screws were T20 Torx screws. Now gently with a clip remover, remove the window switch, just pulling it up gently. You don't want to give too much force on this process, and undo the plugs as you can see in the video. Now we're doing all of this so we can remove the door trim and have access to the cable and the nuts or bolts of the door mirror. If you are fitting this back on, make sure all you need to do is backtrack of what you do in the process. For this part I would use a plastic piece of a tool, not a metal one. You'll need to get in between the door trim cover and the door panel and open it and pull it gently. Lift the bottom of the door trim out first, and then slide the door trim upwards. So as you can see, I'll pull the bottom out first and then slide it upward to release the door trim. And make sure these clips that are on the back of the door trim, which you'll see shortly, these white ones, are on the door trim and not on the door panel. There is one there that has stayed on the door panel, which you would need to take off from the door panel and put it back on to the door trim. This will make the process of putting door trim back on much easier. With a clip remover, remove the clip from the door panel and place it onto the door trim. This goes for most vehicles. Generally they all have the same idea, it's just they vary slightly. And as you can see, we have access to our wire and the plug for the door mirror. Next we want access to the nut that holds the door mirror in place. This one was a 10mm nut, and it's a bit difficult to do this job while you're filming at the same time, so sorry about the angle, but I need to stay on the outside of the door and record and remove at the same time. Once you remove the nut, this door mirror will completely come out. Putting a new mirror in, this will be your first step. First put your new mirror in, so with the cable, slide it in the hole that comes out. So in that process, put the mirror cable and plug in first, and then put the mirror and screw that on. This is the door trim. Put the top part of the door trim first, slide that one in, as you can see how I'll demonstrate in the video, and then push it in, and then push the rest of it in, and that's your door trim back in place as well. I hope you've enjoyed. And then all there's left to do is to re-plug in the window switch and put all the screws back on with all the covers. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in our upcoming videos.